This is the Desphere 13 and a replay from Admir Boss. Now, he's popped up to one of my live streams and it was quite nice to have him there. He did give me quite a few tips and tricks and a little bit of the experience he's had over his, what was it, 27,000 games. At least by what this XVM is saying. But anyway, he's here on the map Mines, and what looks to be a very, very tier 10 game. With a poor tier 6 on his team. I feel bad for that Type 64. I mean, those T25... whatchamacallsums, I'm not even gonna bother with the rest of that name. They have quite a bit of reason to be there. That Type 64, I just feel bad for. But I guess that's what you get when you platoon with an E75. And I haven't really talked about much of Admir Boss in this game so far. But one of the things that I've noticed, and I think he's known this long before I figured it out, is the center part of the map here on Mines is crucial. Simply because from this area, you can just head straight up onto that right over there, and you can get some good shots all around the place. So, from what I can tell, that's one of the main reasons why a lot of tanks head towards this area. Now, one thing, if you've been paying attention more to the replay than me, is he's been switching in between Heat and APCR. More favoring the APC... well, not the APCR. This tank doesn't have APCR, obviously. But AP standard rounds. And he's wiggling his turret to make sure people don't hit that massive cupola on the top of this tank. And oh, there goes. People just... you can just see people aiming for it, and they're not even trying to hide it. But it looks like the reason he keeps switching back and forth is he's loading it up for tanks that he knows he can't get through frontally in the normal situation, such as that IS-7. And I think it was... oh, what was the other tank he was firing it at? I want to say it was that T-10. And those are some heavily armored frontal tanks. Those are the kind of tanks that, unless you have the hull of the T110E5, you really have to shoot the cupola. Unless you want to fire premium ammunition. And it's not like he's going all gung-ho with the premium ammo, like I know I've had fired at me quite a few times where I would, for example, be a bottom tier heavy, and that's the only thing that gets fired at me is APCR or Heat, and it's just like, come on, that's not necessary. But he's got more brains than the average World of Tanks player, not to mention he's off the EU server, which he's noticed a few things when it comes to how us NA players play on the server and so on and so forth. So, but at this point in time, his team is down 2 tanks. It doesn't look like it's going to be the easiest to fight. At least from what I'm seeing right now. This is my first time going through it, but just look at the damage he's dealt so far, and look at the damage he's blocked. That's how you know you're practically carrying the team. Is you've done almost, well, at this point, almost double and a half, well, not double, yeah, double and a half your hit points. And you've basically doubled the amount of damage blocked than your hit points. And I know I'm just kind of rambling, and I apologize to Admin Boss for probably not giving his replay the due credit, but he's the only person to send in replays. And this is the second replay, and I know it's been a while, but I find it quite enjoyable to watch other people's replays. Whoa, now that's a replay bug right there. That, I have not a clue what in the hell is causing that. Ugh. But he's picked up his second care, and I'm just going to pop into free camp real quick, assuming I can. Yep. Just look at this graveyard. Just a kind of, you know, graveyard. And because he's really the only one left up here, he gets basically a free ride to the top of this hill, and now he's in a fairly good position. Mind you, it's nearing the end of the game, but he's got a pretty good sniping position no matter where you look. I mean, that would be the only place you wouldn't be able to normally, you know, get a killing blow on the last enemy tank, which, oh, never mind, he's got his rear. If that tank destroyer keeps backing up, and ooh, this might be it. He might get the killing blow. Oh, and it just donks right into the ground. But nevertheless, a much better game than I could have ever played. And now, I just can't get over how well he plays this game. I mean, personally, I don't think I could have ever done that. I know from what I would end up doing, I'd probably end up dying right around here. Right in this area where he just held for so long. Not to mention, I would have been one of the fools on the enemy team to just give him shot after shot after shot into my tank. And sadly, he really just outplayed everyone that I could see. I mean, yeah, he took some damage, but that was all due to the massive, and you cannot deny this thing has quite a large cupola. And in my opinion, it's quite on a par with the British tanks and that turret, just medieval castle turret of a cupola. And while it doesn't look that large because of the angling of the armor, it will stick out at almost any angle that you can think of. Minus, actually no, not even then. But at this angle, it's pretty well angled, and it'd be a lot easier to get through. Well, less easier to get through, I should say. But the little nub where the machine gun is quite rounded, so that's majority of where his hits went, is right into this cupola. And that's quite a hard place to hide. However, that does not take away anything from what he's done. Simply because how many E20 T110E5s, I keep calling it an E25, were over here? I want to say this one, and a Patton. And if it's not a Patton, and it is, actually, how does the hole, yeah, it's a Patton, you can tell by the nose cone. Unless I'm still getting it wrong, in which case, I really have no explanation, but it really just goes to show how well he knows this tank, and you'll see just how good he is at this tank. And here are the post-game stats. A high caliber, unsurprisingly for the last time I had checked, you know, more than most damage I can do in a game amount of damage. A steel wall, he bounced a ton of shots, and with an American heavy tank, that's really not unsurprising. However, he would have bounced a lot more if it weren't for that cupola, which is probably one of the biggest balancing factors for the tank. A Confederate, I mean, yeah, he hit how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the enemy tanks, which unsurprisingly leads to a Confederate, and he got the first mark of excellence on this tank. Sign me up, can I have your experience in this game? And just looking at the team scores. Yeah, he didn't. Let's see here. Yeah, he got the most on XP. For a second there, I'm like, where could he be? But no, he got the most on XP because he got the most damage. Yes, he didn't get the most kills, but he got in the top 3, and that's, again, a lot better than what I could do. And now looking at the enemy team, there was really very few players who could actually come close to the amount of damage that he did. And fair enough, when it came to damage, there really wasn't anyone on his team that could compare. I mean, it just really blew everyone out of the water. And if I was this type for a heavy, I would probably uninstall the game. Simply because I couldn't compete with him. Now, for the detailed report, which I bumped up to earlier, he fired 25 shots, 22 of those hit, and 18 penetrated, leading to that total of 6,655, almost 7,000 damage dealt. And he received 1,670, I almost said 700, which is about that, was actually dealt to his tank, blocked almost 5,000 of it, with a almost 7,000 potential damage dealt to his tank. This is why you don't face an American heavy tank when it's hauled down. But that's not all. He also had a total of 1,146 detecting or tracking damage, basically assistance damage, giving him a rough estimate of 7,000 damage caused and basically credited towards him. Holy cow, that's a lot of damage dealt. And because of that, he's not running a premium account. He received almost 62,000 credits. And here comes the big bite in the butt because of the premium shells he fired, which, to be honest, I probably would have fired a lot more considering my inexperience with the game. Or I wouldn't have fired enough. Or something like that. But the damage dealt to his tank got 18,005, this number right here. And those heat shells, holy cow, I can't even fathom the cost of those. For it to come out to about a 40, well, if I could, speak English correctly, 43,000 replenish cost. Didn't use any consumables. The one thing I'm not looking forward to when it becomes the tier 10. The cost. 115 credits earned. However, again, this is one of the benefits if you ever buy premium. You would have gotten almost 100,000 credits and gotten 31,000. Premium is optional, but it's a very, very appealing option. But he received almost, 1,140 XP and 63 XP. First one of the day. I wish I had a first one of the day like that. That would be amazing. Just sign me up. Can I please have your experience? Resulting in a almost 2,300 XP and a nice 120 12 experience. And it was just a 6.5-minute game. I can't wait until I can have the same kind of experience and skill at the game as him. And to be honest, I just want more. I just want more. So if anyone else, or even if AdmiralBoss wants to send in more, just send me your replays. Upload it to QuickieBaby. Here, let me just scroll up a little bit. Just upload it to QuickieBaby.com. No, QuickieBabyReplays.com. Or WhatReplays.com, like I do with all mine. Send me the link through email. Email is down in the description, or it's thedeathsphere13@gmail.com, all lowercase. Quick description, and the main reason why I'm having anyone send it through WhatReplays or QuickieBaby.com, well, replays.QuickieBaby.com, is so that way I can get this results screen, so that way I can show off just how good you guys are. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and share it. It really does help out the channel. If you want to keep up to date with my uploads, please subscribe. And if you ever want to talk to me, and you want to see how I play, just go to my Twitch channel down in the description below, and follow the channel. If you don't want to follow the channel, but you still want to kind of keep in the loop as to what I'm doing, Facebook is also down in the description. I've been the Deathsphere13. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be signing off. Hope you have a nice day. Bye.